Welcome back, guys. We're going to do a little care and rehouse for our P.regalis Juvenile. Now this is one that we bred here ourselves, and this is a female, so I'm going to keep her for myself, and she will become part of our future breeding projects. So she's in this little cube here. Now I keep all my sub-adults in these little cubes, and if I remember, I think these are, they're 10 or 12 centimeters by 16, I think. And these are ideal for growing them on. Don't want to give them too much space when they're young. We just want them to build up, put on some good reserves, and just grow. That is all we require from them. We just want them to grow at a nice steady rate. Keeping them in a small enclosure does the trick perfectly. So it's now time for her. As you can see, she's grown a little bit. She could stay in there, but we've got a tank available, so we're going to move her over. Now, she's now going to go into this Exo Nano, which is what I use for pretty much all of my pokies as adults. And these are 20 by 20 by 30, so they're 30 high. Very simple enclosure, as always. As you should know by now, we don't like to complicate things here. We keep things very, very simple, and I'm going to tell you why. What we're doing now is we just put a bit of our Dave's Little Beasties special substrate in the bottom. We've got a nice piece of bark. Now what we're after is we can just dig that into it like that, and we push that up against the back. Now what this has done is that creates a void behind there, and your spider will go behind there, and that's where it will live. I hear a lot of people using bark tubes. I personally can't stand them. I hate them. The idea of this is we keep a nice simple enclosure, one simple piece of bark, void behind. She will set up home in there, she'll web all of that up. Then later on, if we need to see her, we can look round here and go, oh look, there she is, she's getting ready to molt. If we had a bark tube, we'd be sitting here going, what on earth is she up to now? I ain't seen her for 3 weeks. And then we come back 5 weeks, I still ain't seen her. Is she alive? Is she dead? Should we throw some food in? I don't know. It's all ifs and buts, isn't it? It's a waste of time. Doing it this way, we have got total control. So this will all be webbed up. We'll still be able to see in there. We'll still be able to see her. We can put our water bowl on the front here, which we can do. So what we do is we've got our hot glue gun. We plug that in. By the time we finish nattering away, that will be warm enough to go. We've got our very expensive water bowls here. Put that in there. So what happens is she'll keep that clean. It'll all be webbed up, and that's where she'll end up living. That's where she'll set up home. And it gives us the opportunity to be able to see every day. No matter what's going on, we can always keep an eye on our spider, and we know exactly what she's doing. It also, another little tip, I often get comments about how clean my glasses are on my tanks. And I'll be honest, I'm very anal about clean glass. I do like to see a nice clean glass. There's two reasons for this. One is because I enjoy looking at my spiders. That is why they're here, to give me the enjoyment of looking at them. The second is, if a spider disappears for a few days and I don't get to see it, I don't have to panic, because I can guarantee normally 2-3 days or whatever, unless it's going into molt, it will come out and it will crap all over the glass. So I don't need to go in and disturb my spider. I just look at the glass thing and think, oh well, I've not seen her for a few weeks, but look, she's crapped all over the glass. So at least I know she's alive. So it's a good little tip. Keep your glass clean, gives you an idea of what's going on. So we put that in there, got that like that. We can use a little bit of sphagnum moss. And again, this is literally here, and it just helps aid humidity, because what it does is it stops the substrate from drying out completely. If we don't put a bit of moss in there, the substrate will just dry out, and then we'll be forever trying to refresh that. So it's not always a good thing. This is one of the reasons I use the moss as much as anything, is to maintain that humidity. So we got that there, so that's there. That is your tank completely finished. That is all we need to do. It's nice and simple. Now, it probably won't stay looking like that, because she'll probably come in and give her a day or two and she'll have dug it all up, rearranged it, moved the furniture, done everything else. So we'll just see. Right, we're still waiting on our hot glue gun. Now then, what we can do now is we can move this to one side, and now we need to get our little female here. Now you can come over and have a lovely good look at her now while she's actually in the box. I'll take the lid off. Now look at her. Isn't she stunning? Now that's a lovely subadult female. I do think the Regalis is one of the better ornamentals. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. What we're doing now is we're taking out our bits of bark that are in here now. Now the reason being is we're taking, oh, stay there little girl. We're taking that out because what we've got now is a completely empty tank, apart from our spider, which means we can get our catch cup in there without too much hassle. So as you can see, she stayed calm. We've not upset her in any way. This will now upset her. So what we're going to do, bearing in mind, look at this, the tub is the size of the tank. We've got substrate in there, which means that when I put this in there, this is going to sit up like that. So what does that mean? That means we've got a bleeding great hole at the top, which means she will probably just run straight out, down the back of the glass, disappear into the room. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid like that, yeah, and then we're going to come in with our catch cup, like so. Can we see this? As soon as that starts touching, so we close the gap at the top, because we don't want to run it up our hand. Now we slowly bring the bottom in, nice and gentle. There you go. Now she's realised something's going on. So we close the top, keeping a little bit of pressure on. You see what I'm doing? There you go. She's run straight into it, and we close the lid. And there we have it. One juvenile female Regalis. Beautiful spider. So then, what we can do is we check our glue gun. Hey, we're ready. Right then. So we've got her. That down there out of the way. Put our spider there out of the way. Check where we want our water bowl. Just there will be fine. What we do, nice healthy dollop of hot glue. Now you can buy these glue guns at any of the little crafts places. Amazon. So we get our glue on there like that. We've already offered it up, so we found somewhere where it's going to sit nice. And we just inch that in there like that. And there you go. And we just look at it like that. Make sure that we got it level. Now a little tip here, to help it to go off nice and quick so that we can put our spider straight in. Little dab of cold water. Now that glue is perfectly safe. That's gone hard straight away. So we can fill our water bowl up, all ready to go. So So there we have it. So now the next stage is we're going to move the tub out of the way so that my camera lady don't go crashing through the room again. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the lid on. And we're going to get our spider. Now she has been very well behaved. Now if you see now, she's right in the corner, but she's facing the wrong way really. We could have done with her facing that way, because now what this means is she's facing this way. So what we're going to do, we are going to put that on there like so. There she goes, she's moving. Now we've got her facing in the right direction. We don't want her to climb the box. We're just going to give her a little option there. Nice and gentle, nice and slow, and she's in. There you go. Now she'll work her way around there. She's got much more room now. Isn't she beautiful? Right. So there we have it. Close the door. We've got our label. Don't forget, label all your spiders. Put that on there so we know what we got. And there she is. Right, so there you have it. So that's our P.regalis, and this is how I look after them. Nice and simple. Humidity wise, I don't like to get into percentages because people follow percentages and it's really quite difficult. You know, if a care sheet says to you it needs 80% humidity, trying to maintain 80% humidity is an absolute nightmare because there's too many other things go wrong either side of that 80%. So to get 80%, you need much higher humidity to start with, which means you now end up with a wet enclosure. So it's difficult, and heat makes a big difference as well. Hotter the room, we've had a few really hot days, so the humidity in this room has actually gone up, which means I need to spray less. So we will do a full video on humidity and its requirements and your spider's requirements. So these guys, you'll find pretty much everything in this room is kept almost the same way. So although the care sheets differ, a lot of the time you can keep them almost the same. It's not as complicated as it first seems. And when you read all these different care sheets and you look at different things on the net and what have you, it can come across as really, really complicated, but we can simplify it. We can keep it nice and simple. So this is one way of doing it. We keep our spider like this, nice and simple. What we'll do is we'll come back in a month or so, and you'll see how she's all webbed up, and we'll have another little look at her and perhaps catch her feeding or something. So I hope that helped out, and you've seen that it's not difficult. There's no dramas. We can do this nice and steady, nice and easy. So all you guys out there who keep your pokies and are a bit worried about a rehouse, it's as simple as this. It really is. And all of you that are thinking about getting pokies, hopefully this will show you a nice way of how to look after them. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that. Do remember, if you like the video, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. It really helps. And all of you out there, hit the icon. It will get us get your notifications as to when we're releasing our next video, and we do one every Monday and every Thursday. So without further ado, I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider.